What's up, you guys? It's your boy Adrian. To see check how you guys doing today. How's your evening? Well, you guys, just here chilling in my room and just think about what's going on in this world, and nothing is perfect, right? So yeah. So today I just got home from work, and I can tell that today is the day, and it's a year that my grandma had passed away. It's been a year already, and I really miss my grandma. Oh, so Zion. Um, it's just right now I'm just really emotional, man. It's been a year that my grandma passed away, and my dad was trying to invite me to church, but I really want to go. But at the same time, I've been emotional a lot, dude. Like I can't believe she's been gone. I wish she was still here, but I never had a chance to go visit over there in Mexico because during COVID it was just ridiculous, and it's just been a hard time and trying to just keep my head up. I'm trying to be strong, and I'm trying to be there for my dad and the rest my the rest of my family, like my uncles and my aunts out there. It's just feel like I feel down sometimes, and I feel like something's going on with me, man. Like when I got out of work, like, oh my god, it's been a year. But like yesterday, I didn't want to go out. Like I didn't want to go out anywhere because I just want to stay home and just kick back. But I told my wife, like, hey, babe, I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to stay home and just think about her. But the only thing I miss about my grandma is about her favorite dish that she used to make at home. Whatever she makes. And I remember her dish was called the cheese chiladas. I think it was not me or nothing. No chicken. It's like a vegetarian food, I guess. But she made her own recipe. She would make a Mexican cheese, potato, carrots, you name anything. But I remember her recipe. Her Mexican recipe was really good. I love her food so much. Man, it makes me like making me like I miss her recipe every day. And then I was like, man, I wish she was so here. The last time I spoke to my grandma was through FaceTime when my sister went to Mexico. But it felt like she was there. But I can tell that she was going through a lot of cancer and she was going through a lot. After my aunt passed away, it was her sister. But yeah, I've been going through so much. So yeah, it's been a year. I don't want to cry, but I had to let it go. I want to cry, but when you cry, it makes you stronger and you can have your feelings like you can do it. But when I told my therapist, like, I was really close to her, we had a good relationship. We had a lot of grandkids. Believe me, we had a lot of grandkids. We had so many, like, I don't know how many we have, but we had a lot. Growing up as a family, we grew up like brothers and sisters or anything. But the only thing I miss is going over there in Mexico now. Right now about my grandfather, he's feeling pain, because I bet he missed her so. I bet he missed her so much, and it's been hard for him. And I know I came from a lot of strict family because my family was really strict. They were like, you had to follow the rules, you had to follow the directions. We had to do all this stuff with my family. We had to listen. One time, my grandma, she is a strong person. Believe me, she was a strong person. One time, she used to carry a trailer over there in the backyard, and my mom used to get after to Mijo, why you're not helping your grandma? She's right there, but like I forgot, like I was only young, but hey, I knew about my grandma. She always wanted to keep this house clean, no matter what. She always kept it clean. She gets up early in the morning. She has her broom. She rakes all the leaves everywhere. And I told my grandma, I was like, "Grandma, what are you using the broom? Can use the rake." But no, I don't use the rake. I use the broom more. Every time she uses it, and it makes me like she keeps herself busy every single day. And my grandma, she used to get after me. She cleans my room every day. She gets after me, like, clean your room. I don't want you making room a mess. So That's how my grandma was. She was like that. My grandma's really strict. And every time my grandma wants me to, when you gonna go to Mexico? When you gonna go to Mexico? But I always want to have a chance. But at the same time, it's been like, I spoke a lot, speak a little bit Spanish, but now I'm speaking more. I'm trying to learn to speak Spanish because of my culture and especially around my family. Trying to learn. But yeah, it's really hard. Yeah, so I love my grandma. She was really strict person. I came from where she came from, and yeah, the only thing what happened to my grandma was she washed my Zalsay shark set. It was a brand new one. It was not brand new, but I had it for so many years, and she put it in the laundry. And she washed it, and it was all messed up. I was like, "Man, Grandma, why'd you do happen to my head?" And I was really like, I was not upset her. I was really like telling my grandma to not touch my stuff in my room because some of my stuff in my room is not yours. It's but it was really funny and it was really emotional. But my grandma was really, she was a strong person. But my grandma, not a strong person, but she was really like, she doesn't care. But as long as we do some, she didn't care about anything. But yeah, but my grandma, she was fun to hang out. When I was younger, my grandma let me dance. When my grandma put me on my hand, you're gonna dance with me. I was only like maybe like 5 or 6 years old, I guess. She put me in her hand, like you're gonna dance with me. It's like, Grandma, I don't want to dance. No, you have to dance because if you don't want to, if you're gonna not gonna dance with me, you're not gonna have a wife in the future. I was like, all right, fine, Grandma. So my grandma used to pull me in her hand, and I danced with her, and I missed her. She taught me how to dance, and we always danced in each other, and we had a great time. Me and my grandma, we had a great time, and I really miss her. That's the thing I miss the most. Um, the last time I went to Mexico was back in 2001, way after September 11th. I was afraid of heights. I hate airplanes, but you had to do what you had to do. But I remember my grandma. She was amazing, good himself cooking. Yeah, bro. Yes, yeah. I went there and then visit her family and then my grandpa's family too. I went to Mexico in 2001. I was only like 10 or 11 years old, way after September 11th. But I remember my grandma. I told she washed my it was I think it was a Miami Hurricanes. That's when my brother got me a jacket, and my grandma had to wash it because I threw up in the airplane, and it was really bad. I hate flying, dude. I hate flying. But my grandma tells me, "Ay, machacho, ¿por qué? Why are you always throwing up?" Like, I don't know. I was like, I'm always getting nervous. I hate heights. But my grandma, she did everything. Around this house. She was always like cooking everywhere. She had her own restaurant. She had her own chickens, and she present, you know, our cousins. Her, of course, her grandkids too. I tell them who they are, and we always gather as a family. We always gather as a family and gather together. That's what I like about my grandma. We always gathered together. And then like 2 years later, she came over here to California. She came over to visit us, and her and my aunt, they came over and hang out, and she always tells me, "It's like, what are you looking at?" Like, I don't know, grandma. Like, she gave me like, she gives me a hard time, but I know how my grandma was. But my she was fun to hang out, and it was fun. And then like 2 years, 3 later, like 2 or 3 years later, like my grandma used to came over. I think that year later she came over again. She was cleaning around this house during my mom had cancer too. But my mom's a cancer free. She thank God she's good. She's all good. My mom's alive. But I remember my grandma. She used to come every morning and she'd check on us, see how we're doing, and we needed something. Or she was always here. My grandma was always here. When my mom was still in the hospital, and then my grandma was there all the time. And she was there for me, and my sister. That's what That's what I like about my grandma. She was always there. She was always supporting, and no matter what she yell at us or scream at us, she's always there. Um, One time my grandma used to got after me too. It's like, no, 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 you're gonna go work with your dad. And I hate working with my dad because my dad, he keeps himself busy. Working during construction work is just keep himself busy. Him and my grandma, they always keep themselves busy. And same thing as my grandpa too. They always like moving around, and they just keep it up. Just keep getting up early in the morning, and they're right there. They get up early in the morning, get ready to work, and we're right there. But my grandma was always really important. My grandma was really important to be there. So yeah, my grandma was always around with us. We always had good and the bad times. We always fooling around. We always laugh each other. The one thing I told my grandma is like, I always want to go to Tijuana. I haven't gone to Tijuana for a long time. It was since I was like maybe like 3 or 4 years old. I no, actually take it back. I was only like 5 years old when I went to Tijuana. That's the last time I went. But whatever I told my grandma, I was like I was in probably in senior, I think, junior, senior, one of the two. So I told my grandma, I was like, Grandma, I really want to go to Tijuana. I was like, okay, like I really want to like go spend time with you and then hang out. And then I was like, Vamonos, like let's go. Like, all right, let's go. We didn't go, but we just like talking. Like I always tell my grandma, like I'm tired of my sister. She's always bugging me. She's getting me on nerves. Saying, look, don't worry. Let me get your sister, and then I'll drag her around. She was used to fool around, playing around, but not too seriously. She, how her little, not her jokes, but she takes it really seriously, but not really. But that's how my grandma was. But my grandma was really, she was really supporting. But yeah, so yeah, and then every time my grandma left, when she came back to Mexico, she always FaceTime me like, when are you gonna come back? When are you gonna go back to Mexico? And then because she used to call me a white dude because I already don't speak Spanish, but now I do now. But she always give me a hard time. When are you gonna go visit? When are you gonna visit? And then I always try, but it's sometimes money can tickets are too expensive for airplane, or it depends where we get. But my grandma, she was crazy. My grandma was really crazy. Sorry, my allergies are killing me. I have a sore throat. I hate allergies. Um, I remember my grandma. I think, man, I remember my grandma in 2009, 2018. I was so nervous when I had told her that picture right there. That's my wife now. She used to be my girlfriend, but she's my no. Actually, she was my girlfriend, my fiance, and my wife. When I told my when I my when my grandma came back, when she came back to here in California to do some paperwork that my dad had to do or something, I don't know what it was. So when my grandma came, I was so nervous. Oh, sorry. So when my grandma was there, when she got there, I just got back from San Francisco because me and my girl, we went to San Francisco for my early birthday. I was, oh shoot, my grandma's coming because my grandpa came about maybe May or June, but I remember he came to a California. He came to California to do paperwork as well as my grandma as well. So my grandma was there, and then the day later, I had to tell my now she's my wife. As a Candy, you needed to come. Like, what do you mean you have to go? You had to meet my grandma. So I told him, Abuelita, this is mi novia. It's like, oh, tú tienes a novia? Like, you have a girlfriend already? It's like, yes, I do have a girlfriend. Like, and she called me, I don't want to say the B word, but she called me like, piche, poga, tiene novia. And she was calling me piche. Like, it's kind of funny, but it made me laugh. But it's kind of like, I was like, why does my grandma saying that for? And after later, my grandma did give me a little bit hard time. I completely understand what she's going through, but my grandma's like, she was telling me like, like, why do you want to be with this girl? Like, I told her, like, I do. And I do want to marry her in the future, because my girl, she didn't grow up in Catholic. She was growing up more than Christian. But she's always supporting and she's always been nice to me. And for me, growing up as Catholic, my grandma always wanted me to marry as a Catholic girl who goes to church and all that. My grandma was really strict. But for me, I was never judging anybody. I was always there all the time, and me and my wife, me and my girl, we always support each other. But it's hard, it's really hard to understand my grandma. Like, grandma, I really want a relationship. I need a partner with. So when I told my grandma, like, I just don't want to affect you and affect the family because we all going through so much. We like my cousin, he got married with a Catholic girl. Someone like, okay, we completely understand. Everyone has a different personality. Everyone's different. So yeah, so that's why I remember my grandma. I remember my grandma. I remember my grandma. She came to 2016. I remember when she was drunk that time. It was kind of funny, but my grandma was so funny. I can't believe my grandma got drunk because I didn't make her drunk. It was one of my dad's co-worker got her drunk because she was crying because she thought she was crying. I thought she was crying because of my aunt because she had a seizure at my dad's wedding. I was like, oh shit, like I don't know why she's crying. But when I asked my cousin why she's crying, no, she's not crying. What do you mean she's not crying? Yeah, she was drunk. Like, oh my god, my grandma was drunk. My grandpa had to drag her like, oh, let's take you home. So, and the next day later, we told my grandma, are you okay, grandma? You were drunk. She didn't remember. She didn't remember what happened, but it was funny. I was laughing. It's like, oh, grandma, like, why did you do that at my dad's wedding? But I'm surprised my dad didn't say anything. But my grandma, forget it. She likes to drink too, but I never see my grandma got drunk before. Never. But my grandma, she was awesome, man. She was like, but I remember my grandma. She bought a. Over there in Mexico, they have a lot of Mexican candies. They have a lot of Mexican candies. You know, one time my grandma she bought a mango chile. It was like they have a mango inside, and they have a Puerto chile or something, but it was really good. To be them, I ate them all. When after my grandma left, I finished all of them until a whole week. My grandma, oh my god, that chile was really good. And then over there, they have bread too. My dad loves Mexican bread. It's not pan dulce. It's like a big old bread. I don't know if you have seen it, but it's like a brown bread. But I don't know what kind of bread is it. But my dad loves to eat that every single day. But I remember my grandma. She always bring bread, pan, and dulces, any kind of dulce. But my grandma always bring them. But this is how I like about my grandma. She always brings some good candies over there in Mexico. They're really good. You just have to eat. It's like it's better than American candies. They have Snickers, of course, but or M&Ms. You name anything. But my grandma, she was really like she brings anything. Um, I remember my grandma. Let's see, there's so many memories. My grandma, she didn't like fast food too much because my grandma was always want to make food at home. She doesn't like us to eat fast food every single day. Not every single day, but she wants us to eat our food at home, not eating fast food because she was telling us it's too much greasy stuff. It can make you fat. You can get sick like that. My grandma used to get after me too. It was probably me or my sister or anyone, but she was really like she makes a homemade cook. I love how my grandma was, but she's always had food on her table. One time she made a big old plate of food. One time I was in by my scene during my senior year. My grandma made a big old food, and she told me, "I'm gonna make you get full until you finish this plate. Because if you want more, I'm gonna make you more. Because my grandma, she makes us to eat everything. Like, grandma, I'm ready full. I don't want to eat a lot. Like I always telling my grandma, like, grandma, I'm ready full. But my grandma, she was there. My grandma was always there. And then in 20, I think it was in 2000. It was 2019 to 2000. I mean 2019 and 2020. I had my first experience going through an anxiety attack, a panic attack, and getting all the stress and all that. And my grandma was really worried about me because something was gonna happen to me. My grandma was like not freaking out, but she was like really emotional. Like she cares about me, and I don't want anything to happen to me. So my grandma was like, "What's going on, son? Like, what the thing is, mijo?" She called me buga or whatever was going on. I was like, no, no, let me, my pecho. Or it was really hurting my chest, and I was going through a lot because my dad's co-workers and my grandma. She never liked my dad's co-workers. Never. She never liked my dad's co-workers because my dad's co-workers, they can be a dicks. Sometimes they can be a jerk. They can be bully at me. It just didn't like about my dad's co-workers because my dad's co-workers used to be like this forever, but my grandma always has my back. She always I always told her like things I don't like, things I don't like about them because of their personality. But my grandma, she was always supporting. My grandma was always there. Like she told me about my feelings and about my what I'm going through. So my grandma, she was like hopefully he's okay. It's like yeah, well, you know, yo soy bien. I don't want anything to happen to me. And of course, my grandma, she was always had the feelings, having her heart. But my grandma, she was amazing. She was like telling me, like, take care of yourself. I don't want you to be all me fooling around and playing all this stuff. But yeah, so it was hurting. So I was fine, and I was like, I'm gonna be okay. But my grandma's she was always there. No matter what you're going through, whatever, what kind of experience you're going through, but she was always having she always has your back. But my grandma, I would never forget about my grandma. And I know it's been a year that she was gone. I know she missed my wedding. She missed when all this event going on. I miss about my grandma. And I know she is looking down at me. She's always telling me, be strong, be there, be strong for your dad, take care of him, because that's her older son. And my grandma's always there. And you know what? It's hard those days. And I know how I'm going through so much, you guys. My grandma was an amazing person. No matter what my grandma was going through. I know she probably knows it is like I'm not suffering anymore. I'm with God now. I'll be waiting for you guys to come when you guys there. And I do really miss my grandma so much. And I really do. And I know how my feelings is. My anxiety is just been kicking in me right now. Going through so much, through depression, going through a lot of panic attacks every single day. The days I cannot breathe, the days I can I can just relax. But I know it's been a year. It sucks. But you know what? I'll go through this, you guys. I am a strong person. I know I'm not a perfect person, but I'm a good human being. Because a human being will be stronger. It makes you feel like you feel not you feel stronger, but you can bring the light. Don't worry about the darkness. Show the Lord that you can bring the light. I know Lord who defend his own people. But I remember Lord, he didn't die for us. He died I mean not he died for us. I didn't mean to say that Lord. He didn't die for himself. He died for us. And I remember the Lord who got crucified and he showed him telling himself, I'm showing the way. He didn't show he didn't show like do all those crimes or going out doing all stupid stuff like, oh, I'm gonna shoot someone or not. I'm not like that. I'm the person who likes to stay home to be who I am. I want to stay away from all this negative stuff because my grandma had raised me. My grandma was not telling me like, oh, do whatever you want to do. But no, my grandma, she was really strict. And that's when I have kids of my own, I want to learn what my grandma used to taught me. That's how I want to teach my kids in my future. Because my grandma was always supporting and she was always there. But I remember the Lord Jesus Christ. He used to tell us, I am the way. So he shows like he's ready there. And I remember few of my family members who have passed away. I see a lot of my family who's in there in the casket, like I always tell my mom, they're not awake. Well, they're resting. They're asleep now. They're with God now. And I know they're with God. But I do miss my grandma. And I really miss her so much. I know I've been having a tough year this year because of what's all happening to me. But I know I can be a strong person. And I know I can get through this. I know I can do this for my grandma. I can do this anything I want. By the end of the day, I'm gonna be feel a lot better. Cause the next day I'm gonna be busy with school. The next day I'm gonna be working with students in the Limcha school because they're gonna make me feel better. Because at the end of the day, I don't want nothing to get in my way. I really want to shout out to my friend Zion. He's been a friend of mine for almost a year. We've been supporting each other. We always have everyone's back. I really want to shout out to him. He's a great friend of mine. Um, I want to say I want to shout out to my primo Carlitos. I want to tell you, you're a good man. I know I've been like everything was holding me back because I just was like I was like so nervous to commit. I was so nervous to commit with anyone, like to talk to each other, get to know each other. But I want to shout out to him. I want to shout out to my friend Jaden, Logan, Nate, Slade, and all of them. They're good friends of mine. I know they're teenagers, but they've been a great friend of mine because those guys means to me a lot to me. I know they're probably gonna be busy with school stuff. I know football's around the corner. I can't wait for football too. I'm ready for football. Season's around the corner. I love football. I love whatever I want to talk about. But just like I say, you guys, we will need to be there for each other. We need to have everyone's back and make sure not being bully each other because a lot of people are going through so much. And for me, I'm just want to take care of myself. So let's join my day. Right now, I'm gonna just want to just kick back in my room. I finished some of my homework. I did probably pretty much like done what I did, but I just want to take care of myself. But I just want to have a little bit free time myself. Hopefully, I'm not busy during my school time. But I think tomorrow I'm gonna interview CG Ruthless. He seems I know this guy like since adult school through college, but him and we're really tight now. He's a cool dude, but sometimes he's out of control, and sometimes me too as well. But I'm always have to give him some advice and let him know like, hey man, you take care of yourself, man, because there's a lot of people going on in this world. But I'm gonna interview him at 3 o'clock. We'll probably talk about his 4-9 game. What's gonna be his prediction? What does 49 needs to do now? So I'll probably see how it goes with the interview. But I just want to hit a lot of subscribers. I don't know when, but I only have 166. But I really want to hit maybe like hopefully by 200. But if I don't hit by 200, it's okay. You just barely started. But because I hit 100 subscribers this year, and that's a good deal. So let's hit more. I'm gonna build my channel really good. Me and my Carlos, me and Carlitos, we're gonna have a good channel, and we're gonna have our own channel. I want to talk to Zion too. I want to talk to Carlos. Let's get together, and hopefully things go well. Hopefully, I don't want to end like a other friendship because I have other friends last year who denied me last year, way before my grandma passed away. Then too, they hurt my feelings. They broke my heart because I had Jesus disappear on me. I don't want it to happen to me again. So hopefully this year will be better. Believe me, it will be. And also, just let's take care of each other. Let's have everyone's back. And yeah, and I'm gonna end the stream in like a few minutes. And right now, I'm gonna be wanting to do it is next week. I might do a if I have time. If I want to do a pregame, not pregame, but a prediction for Stanford Cardinal football college game. Of course, I'm a Stanford guy. I've been a Stanford guy since 2007. You know, I love Stanford. I like the old sports, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, anything, but more is football. I love watching college football. I'm looking for college football. I really want to watch it this year. I'm not gonna probably not gonna miss no game, but I really want to watch it. By the middle of September or so, I am going to get the tickets I want. So I really want to go see a Stanford game because I know my wife. I told my wife I really want to go this year. No more excuses. I really want to go this year because I love Stanford. This is always be my team. A Dan Hart Stanford guy, but yeah. So that's what I want to do. So maybe I will do it on the prediction for Stanford. We can talk about. I know this year, last year we didn't do too good, but this year hopefully we will. I really want to go see. I really want to see Stanford against Washington State or somebody else. But if I want to see Stanford and BYU, that'd be a good game right there. I really want to see them then too. It's gonna be at Stanford way after Thanksgiving, but I really want to see that too. But at the same time, tickets are too expensive. Pricing can go high. But yeah, so I still have my Stanford hoodie. I still have my John Elway jersey in my room. My beanies is in my at my apartment. So I'm ready for this weather. This weather is gonna be freaking hot. Freaking hot. I hate this weather. I'm trying to stay hydrated, but I'm gonna have to drink a lot of Gatorade and drink a lot of cold water because I'm gonna be sweating all day like a little like a send of. But yeah, so I just want to say you guys. I want to say thank you, Grandma. I miss you. I will see you there. Gracias por todo, abuelita. Tú eres a good persona, habla. Todos los chiquillos, habla. Todos los chiquillos, te quiero mucho. Tú y mi abuelito, man. Tú sabes, mi abuelito te quiere a ti. And I'm saying that to my grandma in Spanish because I'm learning to speak Spanish now. Ya, abuela, yo habla español ya. Y mi papá, y mi mamá, todos mis amigos. Ya, abuela. Tú sabes, tú eres persona, habla mucho. Grandma, you talk a lot. I know Grandma didn't speak English, but Grandma's always in Spanish. Well, yeah, so thank you guys for having me on stream. Let's hit a lot of views. Let's hit a lot of likes from the next on this Friday coming up. Me and my cousin, we're gonna be talking about comedy movies or comedy. I can't talk right now. We're gonna probably talk about funny movies. Okay, we're gonna talk about funny movies. And sorry, I cannot talk because my sore throat is killing me. We're gonna be talking about funny movies and who's the funniest movie ever. Well, yeah, my stupid cat went to the neighbors, so yeah, and she's been a year, and then it's funny, but yes, whatever. So let's end this, you guys. Thank you for having me, and yeah, let's end it. I know everyone's probably busy today, but yeah, thank you guys, and hope you guys have a good day. Peace.